Hello Cavern fans, how all tonight? All good I hope. Did you watch the Steve Goodall and Callum Simpson fight last on Saturday past there? I thought it was a terrible stoppage. I didn't see the Caroline Dubois one. I think from what I hear she was beating up the other lassie and went to some kind of technical draw or that, but I thought it was a disappointing stoppage. Woodall was still throwing back and he didn't look badly hurt. He looked worse when he got dropped, right enough, but he seemed to recover, so it's disappointing. Good win for Callum Simpson. I think he would have gone on to win anyway, but I think that was a poor decision on the ref's part for that. But you had Johnny Nelson defending it. Oh, the ref's closer than we are, but then he's going to defend it. If you've ever seen his stoppage win over Carl Thompson, that was probably the worst stoppage win I've ever seen. So look it up on YouTube if you don't believe me. You've probably seen it anyway if you're an avid boxing fan, as most of you are, I would imagine. So, the Ring Awards, did you see any of that? Turki Alasheik splashing the cash again, and there was a who's who in boxing there, wasn't there? I seen Carl Froch interviewing Turkey. He's getting a bit of bad press for it, but I thought it's quite good that Turki Alasheik's interested in Carl Froch's view, because I think Turki Alasheik's an avid boxing fan. He wants everything to be right, doesn't he? He's not wanting any nonsense. I made a video on this channel back in September when Turki Alasheik was on TalkSport. And he was on TalkSport and he said to Simon Jordan and Jim White that he was keen to listen to their views and looking for guidance and how he can improve things, how he can make things better. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that's a great thing. I was as sceptical as the next man right back at the beginning when the Saudis started getting involved in it. But I actually like what he's doing. I think he's making the fights. There's so many fights that could have happened. He's making happen. They wouldn't happen without his input, and obviously the money. He's putting the money up for it, isn't he? So, and there's no expense spared at the awards. It looked something else. It looked fantastic. But another thing I noticed was there's people from all angles of boxing there. Frank Golfeather, who I rate highly, up in Aberdeen there. He does live in Aberdeen, unlike me. I'm just Aberdeen Andy, it's just a nickname. But so that just shows you Turkey is interested in all the grassroots stuff and everything, So he's not just interested in putting on big shows. He's interested in boxing as a whole, which he's proved that by buying the Ring magazine as well, and rebooting that. It just looked fantastic. And there's obviously awards for who he thought. I don't know whether he's got a consortium of judges who decided who was winning the awards or how the voting was done for that. I have no idea. But obviously Usyk was the best male fighter, which nobody can excuse me, argue with that. Fighting guy is 4 stone 6 inches taller and 4 stone heavier and 6 inches taller. The size advantages he's given away is incredible, and he's just beat everybody, isn't he? So personally, I'd like to see Usyk retire and ride off into the sunset, but it looks like he's going to have another couple of fights. So who these fights are going to involve, I don't know. It could be Dubois, Opetaya. We'll see going forward, but you've got to back Usyk. He's on top of his game, despite being 38, which is getting on a wee bit for a top class boxer. So, but he lives the life. He's obviously very disciplined and he feels comfortable doing it, and he's happy enough to carry on. So, so we'll wait and see what happens there. It's like this big fight card on February 22nd, and I think it's got Dubois and Parker on it. So Dubois shouldn't look past Parker, so that could be an interesting clash there. So Parker's a lot of experience. You can't buy experience, so we'll see how that goes. You've probably got a favourite Dubois going into it, but we'll look at these fights nearer the time. I've just been doing a 2-parter with Russ tonight on Porky's Corner, so watch out for that coming out if you're interested. The voice of hardcore boxing and the biggest gob in sport, that's what Porky calls himself. What else has been going on? Yeah, interview. Froch was interviewing Turki Alasheik. That was quite intriguing. And he came out and said that he'd offered Kawasaki big money last year to fight Froch. He was going to try and put that fight on, but he says initially Kawasaki accepted, but then the next day he changed his mind. But Turki reckoned it was through pressures from his family. He didn't want him to fight again. So, and he is 52, nearly 53, Kawasaki. So he is wearing on a bit, isn't he? So you shouldn't need to fight, and you don't want to see guys that age fighting. But the thing is, the money on the table now is probably way more than they ever earned back in their heyday, isn't it? So, but they're going to do a Mike Tyson and sell their soul just for a. He could get lost. He could take a loss, or I mean, Kawasaki's got the perfect record, doesn't he? So does he want to risk that? That might mean more to him than money. And there's also the risk of getting injured. It's a dangerous sport and a young man's game. It's not a game of tiddlywinks or pillow fighting, is it? So you've got to take that into account. You don't want to see anybody getting injured just for the sake of money. Yeah, money's not everything in life. A lot of people are money driven, but money ain't everything, is it? So health and wealth. Health is wealth. Health and happiness are wealth in my book. So they come before any amount of money. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that was quite interesting to watch that. I seen Frank Bruno getting interviewed, but asked about Usyk and saying Usyk couldn't really live in their era, but I disagree with that. I like Frank Bruno, but I don't share his opinion on that. I think Usyk could have lived in almost any era. I think he's a special talent. You might agree, you might disagree. As I always say, I'm not here to tell people what to think. Think for yourself, don't be a sheep. Do your own thing and be your own man, woman, whatever you are, whoever you are. That's not my game, telling folk what to think. But my opinion is, Usyk could be an all-time great. So is Fury Joshua going to happen? They're saying Eddie Hills has reserved Wembley Stadium for sometime in the summer. So is Fury just going to mess him about for the sake of it, just because Eddie Hills has reserved the stadium? Possibly, who knows? Maybe Fury doesn't want to fight anymore. He's got all that money, but I've got a feeling if there's money on the table, he ain't going to leave it there. So you're quite right. If he feels he's able to fight, why not fight on for another couple of fights or whatever? We shall wait and see. I've seen Martin Bakole, who could be Scotland's first world heavyweight champion. He's an adopted Scotsman, so we shall wait and see. But I rate Bakole very highly, and I like Billy Nelson as trainer. I think they're a good team, and Billy backs his man to the hilt, so that's fair enough. But he's heavily avoided Bakole. If you haven't seen it, watch the fight with him and Tony Yoka, and he actually smashed Yoka about the ring for the distance, and Yoka, he only got a narrow points victory. It was bizarre. It's obviously the judges were favouring Yoka, but he actually battered him for. I don't think Yoka's been the same since that fight. And then they took him out to America for Jared Anderson to beat him. That big mistake. He absolutely hammered Anderson, didn't he? So I don't believe Eddie Hills or Bricktop's going to let any other men anywhere near him anytime soon, because he's a big monster man who could upset the apple cart. So, but good on Martin Bakole. I think he's a good fighter, really well one of the most avoided fighters in the division, as is Ajit Kabayel. But I think Kabayel and Zhang, well, they're fighting each other now, but they both kind of pulled out of fights against Bakole. So what does that tell you? They're obviously not confident that they're going to beat him. But Bakole's been calling out Anthony Joshua, so he's not going to go near him. Eddie Hills is not going to let him near him, is he? That's something I noticed about Froch's interview with Turki Alasheik. He was calling Frank Warren Bricktop and Eddie Hearn Eddie Hills to Turki Alasheik. Good banter, eh? Good banter. I better watch Bricktop doesn't sue him for calling him Bricktop or something mad like that, eh? Because there's legal wrangles going on with him and Ben Shalom at the moment, or with Eubank and all that. It's everybody's suing everybody, isn't they? And Eddie Hills in the white tuxedo, like James Bond. A shite for sore eyes, Eddie, looking all dapper, but I think he was the only one in a white tuxedo, but he's maybe travelling back in time, or he wants to be Special Agent Hills. Is that what he is now? I think some people consider that. We've talked about that with us. Is Eddie Hills just an agent now? Special Agent Hills. 007. But we'll wait and see what happens there, eh? He's in a whistle to Bricktop's tune at the moment, isn't he? So, yeah. So it's all look like a grand do, some nice music there as well, and look like they're all getting well fed. So Oscar De La Hoya in his gold lame suit as well. He was like Elvis in the 50s, wasn't he? There was talk of him fighting Eddie Hills at one point, wasn't there? It's Turkey put the money up for that. Just to see Eddie get flogged. I don't think that'll happen, I don't think that would happen, but so we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, anybody who's anybody in boxing was there anyway, so which I think is good for the sport. It's kind of showcasing it in a good light, isn't it? So we'll wait and see. Like I said, way back at the start of the Saudis getting involved in it, I was sceptical, but I like what Turki Alasheik's doing at the moment, because the fights are happening, which is good for the fans, and that's the main thing from a fan perspective, like what I am. I'm just a boxing fan. I ain't no expert, I'm just a fan who's watched it for about 35 years, so yeah, I like what's going on. So, and long may it continue, this involvement, but I think they're investing heavily in it with their Mike Tyson gym out in Saudi Arabia, and I think Turki Alasheik said he's got like 200 young fighters. So he's obviously wanting to grow it from the grassroots up. Maybe that's how he'll get some good advice from Franco Feather, won't he? He'll maybe be out there doing one of his seminars. I think he's doing a seminar in Paris very soon. So he's a busy man, Frank, and I'm hoping to do an interview with him at some point. He said he would do an interview with me, but as you know, I'm time poor, so it's just getting time to do stuff. But hopefully I can do that this coming year. There's a few folk I'd like to interview, but I have to do some practice. I've never interviewed anybody before, so I don't want to look like a fish out of water, so I'd have to do a bit of rehearsing and practicing. So we'll see going forward. We want to do different things, don't we? So and help grow the channel. And thanks to everybody that's liking and subscribing and leaving all these nice comments. I'm sorry I haven't got time to reply to them all, but when I can I will. But it's all looks positive to me, so that's what I like, positivity. You've got to be positive in life. Avoid negative people and surround yourself with positivity, because that's the way forward in my book. And don't forget, Boxers in Need, for a good cause. You'll have heard me going on about that before, so feel free to investigate it on www.boxersinneed.com. Only take you 5 minutes to look it up, if that, on your smartphone or whatever. You don't need a computer nowadays, do everything on your phone, so that's just the way of the world. So okay guys, that's all for tonight. It's a school night, so I need to get to my bed. No drink tonight, and up early, and the start of another working week. Let's try and avoid the Monday blues. So put a smile on your face and stay positive. Okay guys, that's all for tonight. Till the next video, be happy and be healthy. Take care. Cheers.